Alrighty, hello Blood Bowl fans. Just a quick video, I hope. I want to have a look at a couple of things. There's been a little bit of development in my Discord, which I wanted to talk about because I'm going to close the two initial votes I set up. They were interesting votes, by the way. And there's also a little announcement at the end that I also want to briefly talk about. So first of all, in these two votes from the Discord channel, I will link the Discord channel below if you still haven't joined and you do want to join. You can do so there. If you join the Discord channel, you will be the first to know what is coming up on my YouTube channel in the future, and you will also get to vote on the content that is featured there. And to prove that this is something that's really happening, I'm going to have a look at the first votes. I asked the community two different questions, and the community gave me answers. The first question was, what is your current favourite kind of content on the AD English channel? There's slight bias because most of the guys are ICBBL currently in the channel, so I'm not going to look too hard at the big difference in votes between ICBBL and Rebel. I think it's just related to the distribution of coaches I have on my channel at the moment. But the vote went as follows. The two favourite things in joint first that you want to see more of on my channel is ICBBL related content. That's fair enough, because there's a lot of ICBBL guys here, and co-hosted stuff, which is quite interesting, and it is something that I'd like to do more of. I do have quite a few plans to do with Chris J. I'll probably get Full and Glory on the channel again at some point, Urban Zorro again at some point. I would actually like to do some co-hosty thing with somebody from Rebel at some point as well, so we can maybe sort that out, or Rebel Rookie, whichever of the two leagues you want. So that's something that I will be looking to add more to in the channel, as it is something that you've told me you want to see. Next up, of course, the weekly rundowns. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about the weekly rundowns. I don't have time to do them, so I have to cut back on them a bit. They will continue, especially in ICBBL, less so in Rebel, unfortunately, but there are already guys in Rebel who do them, so I'm going to leave it up to them mostly. I did decide to continue the All-Stars breakdown though, so you will be getting one in Rebel. I don't know if I'll be doing just my division or all the divisions though, we'll see. And the ICBBL stuff, I'm kind of hoping that ICBBL guys are going to take over, though I don't know what's going to happen there, to be honest. We'll see what happens there as well. The Cup one is still definitely happening. I may do the Tutor one, and, well, Steel and Pyramid are currently off-season as we're still recruiting for them, so they're not going to be for a couple of weeks anyway, so I don't need to think about them too much. Joint with that though, you wanted to see some more analytical commentary. Though the game commentaries were one vote behind, so you want to see a bit of both, obviously. With the Tutor League starting, there will be more analytical commentary. I'll be quite analytical in the way I look at that game, looking at those games, looking specifically at what I'm doing with my orcs, looking specifically at what the other 7 coaches are doing with their assigned teams. I may have a more analytical approach to the game commentaries as well, though at the moment I quite like the mix between humour, commentary, and basic chat, so I don't know what's going to happen there either. Next was the beginner-friendly things. There were 2 votes for that, so that's pretty low on the list of priorities, so I'm going to keep that to 1 video a week for now. There's going to be 1 race rundown for now every week on Thursdays. And then after that I'll see if I want to do more with that, though you have voted for it, so it's not definitely gone, it's just there's going to be less of it probably. Following on, you wanted more live content, so I've been doing that over the weekend, at least. So we have that. This Saturday I went live twice, and I do plan to go live again next Saturday with Legendary Edition, the beta. We'll be doing a competition in ICBBL, I'll be part of that. If that finishes quickly, then I'll be doing other things. But I will be using the beta as much as possible next weekend, and I may actually go live with other games. May also do some live commentary for some of the stuff in Rebel, because it'll be a way of keeping videos there, but not on my channel. And absolutely nobody voted for something that they wanted to see specifically for them, so don't even need to talk about that really. Oh, and there was only 1 vote for Rebel related, but again I think that's down to the distribution of coaches mostly. The second poll was some future ideas, and The results surprised me, actually. I was surprised what was at the top, but it is at the top, so I'll have a look at trying to get it done. The most votes went to invitation to analyze one of my games from other coaches or co-host analysis. I maybe should have put these as 2 different votes to find out exactly which one you wanted. However, I'm going to assume that it's more that you want to see somebody else talking about my game, so I'm going to try and invite some of the more experienced coaches on ICBBL, maybe some of the more experienced coaches on Rebel to come and watch one of my games. May do that as a weekly feature. I don't know, I'll have a look at that at some time soon in the future, as most of you voted for that, so it's something I'm going to have a look at, and I will. Then there was basic Blood Bowl tactics. I kind of have the race rundowns as part of this, but I will have a look at what to do after the race rundowns then to see if I can have some actual, a kind of beginner's guide to Blood Bowl, I guess. That'll be something I'll be looking to do as well. And surprisingly, there were a lot of votes for games with a challenge, such as Troll as Ball Carrier, for example. So I'll try and play some of those games every now and then as well, but I'm not going to add these things necessarily to the schedule just yet. I'll just do them sometimes for now. Though if they get really popular, then I'll add them to the schedule. Different games from AD's collection came next, from my game collection. Things like Total War Warhammer, which I've done a livestream for now. Mordheim, which I've done a livestream for in the past. Simulators, other strategy, etc, etc. So I may do more on Total War, because that's actually my favourite game. Blood Bowl isn't my favourite game, I'm just kind of too deep in the game at the moment. My favourite game is actually Total War Warhammer, and I'm not playing it enough, so I'd like to play it some more, especially with the second game coming out. And then example plays, Race versus Race, had 1 vote, so I'll give it a go at some point and see what happens. Nobody wants to see Blood Bowl 1 Chaos Edition, so okay, that's not going to happen. And nobody had a great idea of their own, so that's not going to happen either, apparently. So those things, I'm going to be looking at in the near future, seeing if I can implement them a little bit in my channel. I am closing the vote as well now, if that isn't clear, so the vote is going to be closed. And 2 announcements to end off with then. I said 1, actually there's 2. First announcement is that this weekend coming, this Saturday, the ICBBL are running a short competition, 1-day competition, with as many coaches that want to take part, having a look at the beta for Legendary Edition, because they're giving us a beta for the weekend, of course. I know the Rebel guys are planning something as well, but they haven't actually got details, so I don't know anything about that. Some people ask me things about the Rebel sometimes. I'm not actually affiliated with the Rebel, I'm kind of there as a guest. I'm not a moderator, I'm not an admin, I'm nobody there, basically. I'm just exactly the same as you guys, so when you ask me questions about Rebel, I'm always going to point you in the direction of somebody who knows more than me. So I don't know what's happening there, for anybody who does decide they want to ask me that question. Ask the admin team instead. I'm an admin in ICBBL, not Rebel. And the other announcement that is more exciting, for me at least, they're both exciting, but the most exciting one for me is a new league that I am setting up on my own channel, on the Discord channel, and it's a concept that has been well received by the one league that has already been invited to it. I have also spoken to the admins of the other leagues. They are also excited about it, I think, but they haven't done anything about it, and I have left the development in their hands. So I'm going to read the announcement first of all, and then I'll talk through the basics of what's going to happen. So, I'm going to hold a tournament on this site, on my server, in about a month, roughly coinciding with the release of Legendary Edition. Date is to be declared though, I don't have an exact date. The majority of the info is in a document that I will post below in this video that you can read. It will be a crossover tournament between the ICBBL, Rebel, and the Rebel Rookie League. 5 members from each will compete, and me. We'll all be playing a different race, including races from Legendary Edition, and all of us will make it to the KO, regardless of where we finish in the bracket. The teams will be fresh, with 5 maximum games in the respective Spin League or Wood League, depending on which league you are from. What I ask of you, reading this now, or listening to this now I guess, this is not an official announcement on Rebel and Rebel Rookie though, I just want to say that. The official announcement is coming from the admins, not from me. Can you please DM me 5 members from the league you consider yourself to represent? So if you're one of the ICBBL, tell me about ICBL. If you're one from Rebel, tell me about Rebel, blah 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 blah. Also with a tag telling me which league you're part of, just so I know who I'm talking to. The coaches Can you send me a list of 5 coaches that you respect the most from the league? They don't necessarily have to be the best players. They don't necessarily have to be guys who have taught you something, just guys who you like in the league, basically. Let me know. I will not accept anybody voting for themselves, though. And I will be voting for myself in each league as well. I'll keep the vote secret, but announce the winners with vote numbers at the end of the vote. The vote is open until the end of the beta weekend next weekend. And the 5 coaches with the most votes will be invited to play in this league, 5 from each respective league. If I have a lot of votes for certain people as well, I may invite them as extras in the league. We may even go as far as 24. And the way it will work, basically, I told you that each coach has to pick their own race, and you can't have the same race twice. Whoever has the most votes, they get the first choice of race. That's how it works, percentage-wise. I don't mean numbers, because there are a lot more guys in Rebel than there are in ICBBL. So if, for example, let's say Squiggy gets 200 votes from you guys, even though that's a hell of a lot of votes, percentage-wise it may be roughly the same as, let's say, Fallen Glory in the ICBBL. So even though Squiggy's 200 and Fallen Glory's 40 will be really different in numbers, in percentage they'll be roughly the same, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's it. That's the 2 announcements I had to make. That's the update on the votes. Thank you guys for watching. I'm now on a schedule, so if you're wondering where all my content is, it's coming. It just comes at different times now. I'll keep posting things in ICBBL when they come up. I'll keep posting things in Rebel when they come up. But if you want to see literally all of my content, and if you want to see what I'm doing in general, then come join me on Discord. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.